All right, tribe. Welcome to the show. We are here for Relationship Detox Part 2 with Spencer and Shannon Goodrich.
Oh,
Hi, guys.
what's
Hi.
good? Good to be back.
It is very good to be back.
We are so glad to have you guys back in the show. After Part 1, you guys had left me, at least. I can't speak for the audience, but me, I was wanting more from you guys. You were filled with so much wisdom um, in regards to in regards to relationships. How do you guys think part one went? Did y'all enjoy it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. It was really cool. So I'm really looking forward to what you guys are going to bring for part two. So we left off, just to fill anybody in that's dropping in now and listening out of order. We left off with you guys explaining and talking about the situations you guys were in prior to meeting each other, and kind of hitting that ceiling, hitting that space of like, okay, something's got to change. This isn't working out. So, where we're going to pick up today is if you guys both can each take turns to talk about what exactly you did to detox from these dead end relationships. And not only detox, but also get your heart, your mind, your spirit, your body, if that's also included, healthy and in a place of being prepared for when you met the one and each other. So, whoever would like to go first can go first.
you can go first.
All right, Shannon, you up?
Okay, so for me, I would say the steps I took was one, um, I had to look at myself and I kind of had this moment of like, what am I doing wrong? Like I started to place blame on myself and instead of everything wrong that everyone else was doing. And I looked at myself and I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong?
Mm,
And a part of it that I discovered I was doing wrong was just not being alone for a little while. Like I think I expressed that a little bit before in part one, but just I didn't spend time enjoying myself, enjoying the things that make me happy. Cause like in a lot of the relationships I was in, I felt like I was the one giving, giving, giving.
mm,
Not all of them, but some of the relationships I was in. And I gave so much of myself that it's like I kind of lost sight of, who I was, who I really, really was, the things that I enjoy, the things that like, what do I want to do with my life? Like, what are the things that I'm called to? What's my purpose? All those things play like a part in detoxing, trying to figure out, you know, not so much like what's next as far as a relationship because I knew that love would come. I just knew it. Like I was super hopeful and all of that, but I was just like, I want to be ready when it does come. So I began to prepare myself in the sense of just focusing my time, my energy, my mind on God. Like just sitting with him, seeking him, his word, even stepping away from the church as far as the church building, because we
oh,
are the church. But as far as the church building and spending time in my house with God, just me and him, like that intimate time, because I was doing a lot and not really spending time with him. It was like I felt like I was doing everything right, but I really wasn't, you know, creating that intimate time to build a relationship with him the way I needed to. So taking that time and just sitting down, like literally just sitting down and listening and hearing his voice. And, it's like that took my mind off of the whole, I want to be with someone, I want to be with someone, I need someone, oh, it's always fun to be with someone. And it just kind of like allowed me to get into like a mental space where it was like healthy.
mm,
It was like all that stuff was like the feelings of there was a lot of like unforgiveness. It was a lot of anger. There was a lot of things that I was still dealing with from past relationships. And it wouldn't have been fair, like to have a person come in that's healthy and I'm not. So having that time to just, you know, just be with God and figure out what's going on with me first.
Mm-hmm.
And once I was able to kind of do that and kind of stop looking so much for, there were certain things that I wanted in a relationship, but there was just like certain things that I thought was important that actually wasn't. So I had to like sit back and really like I said, listen to God and take that time to realize what I wanted, what I needed more so. And it's like that moment is so funny because when I stopped looking or I stopped receiving the, you know, the guys call trying to get my number, the guys trying to take me out, trying to do certain things, and just like sit when I sat with God and allowed him to, you know, penetrate my heart and just love on me and the intimacy with him, that's when he came along. That's the funny part, when I was not looking. It's like I was just like, I'm okay being by myself, and I was fine. Finally, at a point in my life, I was just like, I'm cool by myself, knowing that love was gonna come, and God showed me that He was gonna send someone, all the things that I desired, all the love that I needed. He knew, so it wasn't like, you know, I guess it was more so like I had to trust Him and knowing, okay, He's gonna provide it. There's no reason for me to be doing X, Y. I'm taking my hands off. I'm letting him do whatever it is that he's going to do. And so that's basically what happened. That's how I.
Wow. So there's some power in taking a seat, huh?
Absolutely.
And having a seat.
Absolutely.
What to ask you, just to go a little bit deeper in what you were saying, you said that you wanted to focus on things that you thought were important in finding somebody, but you later found out really wasn't important. Can you name a couple of those things?
I mean, so for me, I was like, oh, I have to have a guy, like the stuff that's not important, but I thought was like, I have to have a guy that already has children because I have a child. And so if he doesn't have children, he doesn't understand what it means to have a child. And I'm not about to explain all that. I'm not about to try to, you know, like I just was like, he has to have a child, he has to be older. Then I went to the physical stuff, like he has to be dark skinned. That was
Wow, Spencer, what are you, like 0 for 4 right now over there? Well, according to her list.
I'm losing, right? I'm striking out right now.
Yeah, seriously.
I was just like, I mean, it was just so many, it was things like that I was just like, he has to be this, he has to be that. And I remember someone at the time telling me, it's okay to ask God for those things. Like, if that's what you want, let God know that's what you want. But it's funny because God's like, okay, you can let me know what you want. But He gave me what I needed. You know what I mean? Like, and although it wasn't like before, let me clarify, it wasn't like I was like, oh, light skinned dudes. No, I'm not. But it was kind of like, that's not really my thing type thing. But then when I saw him, the funny thing was just like all that went out the window. It was just like,
I'm sure it should.
Right. It was just like, forget all of that. He is beautiful. Like that's really what it was just like.
You was like, what list? Right.
Yeah, but so you know, stuff like that I thought was important or you know, whatever, it really wasn't at the end of the day, and I found that out. So that's
Because we're doing this via video call, I always forget that, well, not always, sorry, my listeners on the podcast, I don't forget about you, but when I said, Spencer, you're striking out 0 for 4, that's for the people listening on the podcast. That's because Spencer is sitting here, not dark skin. I believe he doesn't have any children, right?
Right.
Spencer coming in with so that we were making a joke off of that. So Spencer, okay, so now going into your whole ordeal, what are the things that you did to detoxify your spirit, your heart, your mind from those dead end relationships?
It's really, I would say it's really, it's kind of along the same lines as what she already said. You know what I mean? I got to a point where once, you know, like I said in the last episode, you know, I got to that place where I was like, you know, forget it. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna rebel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm tired of trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of trying to, you know, trying to search for the one and da da da. I'm about to just do me. And that had a short lifespan. That was not for me. Like, God convicted me super fast. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, you're right, you know. And um I always had an intimate, a real like deep intimate relationship with God. You know what I mean? And I just felt a pulling on my heart that he really wanted my attention, my time, and not for it to be focused on another person. You know, once I did that, it's crazy because like I said, I have been through situations where I was, you know, I was longing for specifically, you know, a person, you know, and I had to give that to God.
Yeah.
Want to end it. You know what I'm saying? And I would talk to God, and you know, I would ask him, you know, this is what I want, you know what I'm saying? But not my will, you know what I mean? Your will, whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna be open and transparent with you about how I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give you full control. And over time, like, you know, of just getting that time spending with him, the things that it's like he was just revealing to me the things that what I thought I wanted wasn't what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the character of the type of woman that I wanted to be with, you know what I'm saying? That person didn't have those things. You know what I'm saying? That's something that God had to show me, had to teach me. And like once I got comfortable with him and I wasn't really looking for real, it just came across my path, you know. And God had gave me, you know, I feel like he gave me the wisdom to be able to choose correctly this time. You know what I'm saying? To be able to know the characteristics that I want in a woman.
Yes.
And to be able to make my choice. And that's what I did. I chose her.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It was the best
Shannon, why
decision.
you make that face?
Oh,
That
It
was
was the
so,
best
yeah.
decision. It
Yeah,
was the
that was
best
so
decision.
sweet. So yeah,
Bro.
so you spent more time with God, getting into a even deeper relationship with God,
Yeah.
and come to find out that little list you had wasn't gonna cut it, huh? That they had to know God and be single. That wasn't.
It got more extended. Hers got thrown out the window,
right.
and mine extended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to, Shannon, I want to ask you a question because you touched on something that, especially, I can't speak so much for the secular side, but in our belief, in our faith, you touched on something. I have heard this a lot, and Spencer, you can also comment as well, where
Yeah.
you'll hear ministers or pastors or leaders saying to those that are single, yeah,
Yeah.
ask God for what you want, make that list.
Oh yeah. I heard that too.
Yeah, can you,
Yeah, I
I
had
want to
faith.
have a discussion about that. Is there like a myth to that? Do you think it just works for some and doesn't for others? Is like, can we myth bust that right now?
Can I speak?
Yeah.
I, this is what I feel like it is when it comes to anything, anything that you ask for when it comes to God. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says, you know, seek, you shall receive, knock, the door shall be open. You know, if you ask anything in my name, I'll give it to you. You know what I mean? But you gotta understand that we have that same, if you love your child, you have that same heart. Baby, ask me anything. You know what I mean? I'll give it to you. It's no problem. But you also are a grown person and they're a child. So the things that they ask for, you have the wisdom to know if it's good or not for them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just that situation. Like God is like, yeah, you should feel comfortable enough and close enough to me to be able to ask me and trust me with what you're asking for, and I'll give you the best of, you know, I'll give you what you don't see that you want, because He knows your heart even better than you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how it goes, and that's how we should look at it. It's
That's
gonna
so
be like
good.
a, yeah, he's not a genie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times we treat God like a genie. Like we're like,
Oh yeah.
oh God, I know I want this, I want that, I want this, and we're just like, okay, and we're just
Yeah.
waiting for those things specifically because we ask Him. But that's not how it works. It's like, yes, He knows our hearts, He knows our desires. So when we come to Him, and He likes to give us things. He wants us to have things, just like you said, as far as like a parent and a child relationship. But also knowing this may not be good for you. Like if
Mm-hmm.
my son comes to me right now, I was like, Mom, I want a tattoo. I like tattoos, but you're not about to get one, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like that's not good for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right now. So and then also that even goes down to like the whole waiting process. Like sometimes it's like you want it right now, and God's like, you don't need it right now. He sees,
Exactly.
he knows ahead of what we do. So for us to, rush him, it's in all those things because we want something so bad,
Mm-hmm.
and God is just like, I know. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
know, but it's just not what I want for you right now. Or
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it to you, but it may not look like what you thought it would look like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
And like to piggyback on that, like um sometimes it's you're not ready for what you want.
Mm.
You
that
know,
part,
like
Yes.
that part.
yeah, like you could completely destroy
Mm.
something good. You
Mhm.
know, you can someone can be healthy, they could be it, but you're still toxic. You still have
Uh,
character flaws that is gonna destroy a relationship that was meant to be a blessing.
yeah.
And that's what you don't want to happen. You don't
Mm.
want to receive something and then you just completely jack it up because you're insensitive or you're judgmental or all these things that hasn't been quite ironed out in you. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, and I could be honest in saying I was at a point that actually happened too, where I was dating someone was like a really nice person. I mean, everything was good on that person's end, but I was so jacked up at the time. I was just like, trying to be in a relationship with the person, but it was just like so much going on with me. And that's why I said it was just like that time for God to just, for me to say, what am I doing wrong? And look at myself. Like that's
Yeah.
like you just said, it's really important because you don't want to do anything out of time or mess up something that could potentially be good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Like I feel like the key is not being perfect. It's just being healthy enough to
right.
grow. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
When two people get together that's healthy enough to grow, that means that I'm healthy enough to deal with whatever character flaws you might have.
Yes.
You're healthy enough to work on them when they get exposed and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Mm. All right. Whoa, can I cut in here for a second?
Sure.
Y'all playing ping pong over there. I'm just watching. We are we're actually gonna go ahead and head into a break right now. And this is probably a good time to take a break because you guys just talked about some really, really great stuff. I mean, that is going to help somebody in their situation right now, whether they're in a relationship that they know is not going anywhere or they're waiting for that beautiful relationship to come. You guys have just given people, I mean, like a plethora of stuff that they could take and really sit through, decipher through it, meditate on it, and work on it. So we are going to go ahead and hit our break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. All right, friends, welcome back to the show. We were just digging in. Oh my goodness, that's some good eating. I love it. I love a good, meaningful conversation. Um, Before we went on break, you guys were explaining and talking more in depth about the importance of that relationship with God and, wants versus needs and things like that. What I wanted to add also a self note as well was that when you have that relationship with God, your desires start to become his desires for you as well. So you don't end up going to him asking for something that's totally left field. Like my son knows better than to come ask me for something that he already knows is like, it's not even in our agenda. That's not our plan. That's not how we run our house. So he wouldn't come to me because we have that relationship. But now a friend of his that may come over that doesn't have that kind of relationship may ask for something that's out of pocket. And then I got to kindly explain, oh, we don't do that here. You know? So that's the same thing. Like that's also the importance of having that relationship with God as well, is that slowly your wants and needs also turn into his wants and needs for you. And so you're more in line, you know, of asking according to his will. That's what the word tells us, according to his plan for your life. So before we go any further, I'm gonna zip my lip because we need to hear about how you guys met, because that story. So y'all cleaned up, right? Y'all got rid of all the toxicity. You guys are healing, you're growing, you're becoming mature, and then boom.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, look.
Oh, not that woo again. That woo means we in trouble.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to concise. But all right, I gotta get the timeline straight. All right. I met her. I met her, but
We didn't.
we kind of met before, like I would say maybe how long you think it was before? Like maybe
A year or so.
maybe a year. All right, so you know we both do music, but before we met, I was living with my homeboy and his wife, and we all in a group. We had the studio set up in the house, and we was always recording stuff like that. So through a mutual friend that we had, he did a record. He wanted to record at the crib, and he said that he had a singer that he wanted to get on the song. Turns out she was the singer. Now I'm always the one that's like engineering, recording everything. But for whatever particular reason, that day I was not. I wasn't there. My homeboy, CJ, he was there and he was recording. So all I know is I came into the crib, I saw her. I don't even remember seeing her.
I might have been like in the booth.
Yeah, you might have been like in the closet in the booth.
Because like, the booth was in the closet.
Yeah, I might have just seen you. Like,
yeah, I'm like, what? She's in the closet,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, like I was just like in and out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first time that like we was around each other. You know what I mean? So 6 months or so down the line, I'm working. I'm doing a job doing cable. So I'm going everywhere, different neighborhoods, different houses, doing cable, whatever. So one particular day, I go to this apartment, and it's just this older guy in there. He's just in there dolo. And that day, I'm feeling kind of down because I'm going through that detoxing process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the last situation I was in, I was really kind of lingering on, and I had a real strong hope. You know, I was hoping in the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
And I think at the time,
speaking it into existence. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think at the time that I was at the studio that day, you were. I think she was there. Yeah, she was there. The person he.
Oh,
and
the plot thickens.
I was in a relationship too, so it wasn't like we didn't like it was no like
right.
It's like it wasn't passing.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys were in your own situations at that time. Like there was no awareness of each other yet.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So I'm just kind of going through it. Like that day specifically, I was feeling kind of down. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like hoping, like that's gonna manifest into something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in there. I'm doing my thing, and the older guy that's there, he comes from like the back room. And he was like, man, you mind if I pray for you? And I was like, okay. He was like, yeah, I'm a prophet. And I was like, prophet? I was like, usually people just come up to you and be like, I'm a prophet or something, you know what I mean? Like, I just be like, yeah, okay, brother.
Yeah.
All right, prophet. But I was like, all right, cool. So he prayed for me. And then he was like, man, the Lord is just putting like, heavy on my heart that he wants to give you, um, he's giving you how did he put it? He's giving you, uh, he wants you to be able to choose. He wants you to be able to choose the woman you want to be with and not wait to be chosen. And when he
Mm.
said that, I was like, yeah,
Wow.
he hearing from God. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
that day, that's what I was dealing with. I felt like I was waiting to be chosen.
Mm.
So when he said that, it really resonated with me. And going like weeks down the line, maybe a couple months or so, I'm having those things, I'm just thinking about what he said. And I get up with my dude, our mutual friend again. This time I was living back with my parents. I had the studio set up there. He came through and he was recording. And he was telling me he had another record that he was going to get her on, get Shannon on. So when he said that, me jokingly being me, I was like, okay, Shannon, all right. I was like, what's Shannon up to? You know what I'm saying? I was just joking, you know what I'm saying? But he was like, you know what? He was like, bro, I think, you know what I mean? I think she had a situation, but he was like, I don't think that it was worked out the way, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? It didn't go too well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
it was like, I don't think dude was right for it, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, he was like, yeah, he was like, yo, she's a good girl, man, you know what I'm saying? That would be real dope. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm on it. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
so, so she comes through the studio, just like maybe the next time he comes around, but comes to the studio. We end up exchanging numbers and all of that, and talking, and it just fit. It was just like
Mm.
just so easy.
Oh.
And one day she this was maybe like a couple weeks in, she was like, "You want to meet my parents?" Because we was looking for something to do. We were supposed to get up with her best friend, but that didn't pan out. So she was like, "Yeah, my parents don't stay too far from here.
Right.
You know, we can go meet them."
And I had already met his parents, so it's kind of like,
Okay.
well, yeah.
Yeah, and she
Oh,
was like,
okay.
"Yeah, my parents."
Right.
She was like, "Yeah, my parents. They're ministers." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm like, "They gonna love me because I
Yeah.
love God." You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yo, let's go." So we went out there to these apartment complexes. I'm like, "Yo, all right, I've been out here before because I done cable everywhere."
Right.
So we start walking up to the house, and I get to the door, and I'm like, I pause. I'm like, "Yo, hold up, I've been here before." Like
Oh, like
this
here,
very
here.
same apartment. And I looked at her and I was like, is your dad, is he dark skinned? And she was like, yeah. I was like, is he a prophet? And her eyes got big and she was like, yeah. I was like, hold on, yo. I was like, don't open the door yet. Don't open the door yet. And I was just like, yo. She was like, what's wrong? I was just
I
like, yo, I've been here before. She was like, what? I was like, yo, I've been here before. And sure enough, I was like, man, let's just go inside. So we went inside, and the same dude that got to pray for me, that was
Oh
her
my
dad.
gosh.
Yeah,
What?
Isn't that
that
crazy?
was it. Was
Talk about a full circle.
yeah. So like God was like, you want to know if this is your woman? Wow, there it go.
Right.
Like
Like you didn't need no other sign.
yeah, it was nothing else. It was just
Right.
like, oh
And it was
man,
the same for me because, like, I remember telling God, I was like, the next person I'm with, of course, I want that person to be the one, but also I'm like, you're gonna have to show me. I need proof. I need you. Like Jesus gotta come sit on the edge of the bed. Like, yes, that's him. Like that's how it was. Just like I have been through so much, and I was just like, look. And he
Yeah.
like the way he did it, I was like, wow, I was amazed. Like honestly,
That
yeah,
is talk about a sign. Like that is for real. But a lot of that attributes to you guys being developing that relationship with God and that
right.
yeah,
closeness with God that he could do that with you.
yeah.
Yes,
Facts, facts.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it was just like we knew instantly. It's like it just felt. Like I said, just clicked in place. And once we had that
Right.
confirmation, like everybody was on board. they can
Oh my
see it.
gosh. Just
We
like
got
Mhm.
that.
married within 6 months.
We got wow. Yeah, because we started dating. Technically, who was it? New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
That
laughing because on New Year's Eve he asked me to what you say you want to be your lady,
Yeah.
something like that. And
And this nut.
what oh Shannon, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
he asked me to be like make it official our relationship. It was on New Year's
Okay.
Eve, and we
Yeah.
were supposed to be going out with our friends. And I was like, oh, I was like, can you ask me at like after midnight so that way our
Yes.
anniversary could be on the first of the year? And he was like, no.
Good for you, Spencer.
Yo, this is how I knew what I was gonna be dealing with for the rest of my life. Yo.
Yeah.
That's crazy, but like, yeah, if we just wait like a couple
That's
hours,
so
then
funny. Oh
like,
my God.
yo,
I love that. I love that. You were still being yourself.
Right.
I
And
love
then
that.
he asked my dad for my hand in marriage, I think in I don't know, February or March or something. And then he asked me to marry him in April. And we got married in October. So
Oh
yeah.
wow. So
yeah,
that just within that whole year was your
Yeah.
Mets. You got your
Mhm.
sign, seal delivered symbol from the
yeah,
Lord,
Yeah.
relationship, engaged, married. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
great. Now, what do you guys say? I know this wasn't your situation, but what do you say to people who um their relationships are taking a little bit longer than that? Because you have
uh-huh,
people that like your situation where it happens
yeah,
quick, and then you have others where it takes a little bit longer, years. you
Mhm.
know what,
yeah.
any encouragement or words of wisdom to those people that may be in a situation like that?
You can
Um,
go. Sorry.
I would just say like just be intentional. You know, know what you want, and you know, be on one accord. If both of you are looking for marriage, make that the goal and make it a
Hmm.
real one. You know, it's not a rush. You know what I mean? But it's no point of it's no point of if you are looking for the same things. You know, like I feel like the worst thing you can do is wait on somebody else to grow to get to a place to want to be at a place you were already at as far as
Mm,
marriage is concerned.
mm.
I feel like that's a setup, for failure.
Wow.
So yeah, just if y'all in the same place and y'all both want this, like, do what you gotta do to make it real and then start that journey together. For real.
Wow.
Yeah, I would definitely say, um, I think I said this last time too, not to compare your relationship with anyone else's
Yeah.
because
Mm-hmm.
it some relationships, like you said, things go fast and then sometimes it takes longer. But I'm a very firm believer that it doesn't take that long in
Yeah.
the sense of like, I get that sometimes people want things in place and certain things to be a certain way.
Yes.
And I get that, but it doesn't take 5, 6 years to decide
Yeah.
if I want to
Mm.
if I want to marry you. Like I don't, because at that point, if you have to ask someone, do you want to marry me? Is that the goal here? Then that's obviously not
Yeah.
the person because, and that's just my opinion. It's like, because it doesn't take that long to know. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yes.
yeah, I would say just don't compare as far as the timing, but definitely do not waste your time either.
Yeah.
I
I
like
would just
that. Don't waste
say
your
make
time.
sure you're tracking, that you're tracking together, that you're
Mm.
on a path, you're tracking. You
Yeah.
just looping in circles or just floating,
No.
floating in the ocean somewhere.
Oh goodness. Right. Now a different scenario, and if you guys have some advice or suggestions to these types of people, there may be people that are in dead end relationships right now. They're not out of them. What would you say to these people? They're listening in, they're watching you guys, they want to have what you two have,
Yeah.
but they see it's not going to happen with the person that they're with. What type of encouragement can you give to those people?
Like rip the band-aid off. rip it off. It's gonna hurt, but you have to rip it off in order for you to heal and get where you like.
And
Don't just
mm-hmm.
well, I'm just saying, like, make the tough decision. Like, if you see something that's not going nowhere, don't waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is not promised. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And you want to live life. You don't want to just be going through life
Right.
stuck in a situation that you have control over for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I would just say, yeah, make a tough decision. If something's not going the way you want it to go, shut it down. I'll tell somebody quick, shut it down. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I hate to see people stuck in a situation where they place all their hope on one individual.
Mm.
Like, that's just a dangerous thing,
Yes.
and it's not fair to that individual as well, because they can't handle that. They can't have that expectation of, I'm trying to get to a place. Some people want to change, but they just can't grow. You can't force yourself to grow an inch. If you're 10 and you're not 16 yet, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
And you can't be frustrated at somebody for that level of growth. And if you
Yeah.
see y'all in two different places, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm. And that's
And
often a very heavy decision to make because there's feelings involved.
yeah,
There's time that's been invested,
yeah,
and I know people in those situations, and I can speak for myself as well because I've been in those situations. You like to hold on to all the good stuff
yeah,
Right.
and
yeah,
ignore, oh well, maybe we can get back to that place, or I just need to give
yeah,
it more time, but you're just
Yeah.
saying if you don't see it growing, that's it,
yeah,
cut it.
yeah. Like I said, you definitely should be tracking. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, infatuation is real.
Mm.
Personalities is real. You have personalities that you just get along with. Y'all have a great time together.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing is recognizing character and direction. If somebody has direction in life, and to make sure y'all go in the same direction,
Yeah.
or want the same things. Because as hard as it may be to let that go, is just as easy when the right person comes along to have more of what you really want. Like, I've been in relationships and laughed and had fun and thought this person was the best, but it's nothing like having it with her now. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's without all the extra other stuff that was toxic at the time. So, you know,
Right. There's nothing like being with the right one. There's a lot of ones out there, but the
yeah,
right
a
the right
whole lot.
one,
Right.
yeah, the right
Yeah,
one. There's nothing like it. Shannon, did you want to add anything to that?
Just to piggyback off of what he said, like it's gonna feel like the biggest L. Like it's like you're taking a loss. It'll feel like that at
Yeah.
the moment. But it's such a big win when you can be free from the
Mm.
toxic stuff that's going on, when you can be free from what isn't supposed to be.
yeah,
Like,
Mm-hmm.
because it might feel like, well, I invested this time, and it's an investment. It's like a business, or like, you invested something
yeah,
and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
like, but if it's not working, it's not working. Like, and that's the hardest part. It is letting go. But I promise, if you let go, you are going to be so pleased, because you cannot pick up something with full hands. If you have stuff in your hands, you cannot pick up what is meant for you to have. So
Wow.
just
That's
drop
so
it.
good.
Drop it.
I remember
Just
somebody
drop
told me
it.
one day. I remember
Yes.
this guy used to mentor me. He said that how um how is your wife going to sit down at the table if your girlfriend is in the seat?
Whoops. Mind blown.
You
You
got you
said
got to
that?
look.
It hit me too.
Hold
I
on.
thought about it.
Never on my show so far. I mean, I know we knew. Never in my show has anyone seen the back of my head. You just made me turn all the way around in my seat. Can you please repeat that again? Please.
How is your wife going to sit at the table if your girlfriend is in the seat?
Where do I send my offering? Where? What's the address? That was a whole message right there. That one sentence. Go
You
ahead.
know what?
Go ahead.
No, it's just
Oh, I
He
didn't
said
hear
you
it. I
could.
missed it. I'm waiting for the rest of the. I'm waiting. Look, I'm sitting here attentive.
he was like, "Where can I send my offer?" And I was like, "You can send it to Cash App."
Well, we'll get all that info at the end of the show because I think there's several people that may want to send y'all a tithe and an offering. Okay, but go ahead. So continue.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of knowing what, like I said, what you want, your deal breakers, the things that are important to you, the things that more importantly, the things that are important to God for you, the things that He wants for you, because He
Yes.
knows best. But if that's not what is happening with the person you're with, and it's like shrinking down, you know what I mean? Like it's just being like, okay, I'm not gonna, like those things that you want, like cross them off your list for the person. And I'm talking about the important things. I'm not talking about the things I said about, oh yes, be dark skinned, stuff like that. I'm talking about like the really, really important things.
Yeah.
You know, like children, you know, the things you want in life, the things that you know you're supposed to do, your purpose.
Yes.
That's really important.
Yes.
Like one thing I
Yes.
thank God for is that we like we have the same goals, the same ideas. We have different things that we want to do, of course, because we're still individuals at the end of the day. But being one is really important to have that support. But then there are things that we do together, like music. Like we when we went to like I think DC last weekend for our anniversary, and the whole ride, which is 3 hours away from where we live, we're just like listening to music and talking about music, like not just our music, of course, but other, you know, just music, and being
Yeah.
able to like connect in that area is
Yes.
so dope. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, just know that if the person you're with is not it, it's okay. It's like I said, it's gonna seem like an L at first, but it's not. It's really
Yeah.
not.
I love this. All right, guys. So we are reaching the end of this broadcast. I before we go, I have to thank you guys again. Y'all tore this up. This topic. You really did. I mean, y'all broke it down and put it back together again. So I love it. But before we head out, I do want you guys to share your information because there's something that you guys are doing, right? Do you have pages or YouTube channel or what do we have for the people?
Yep. We have a YouTube channel that we just started. It's called Love Driven War.
It's called
We're
Love.
Love Driven War.
Oh, Love Driven
Yeah.
War. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, this sounds serious. Where do we sign up?
Yeah, it started like Love Driven War is actually, it's actually tatted on, and it started just, I just felt like we're constantly at war. Like God is at war with us for us. So He has to fight you to get to you because we're putting up all type of defenses, all types of walls, and He's constantly, consistently after us. And the sooner that we give up and surrender and give ourselves to Him, then we actually win with Him. But yeah,
I
that's
love that. So what kind of content can we expect on this channel?
on the. You can expect blogs whenever we go like traveling and stuff like that. We're gonna be doing movie reviews. She has DIY projects.
He always says DIY, so I'm like DIY, man. Do it yourself.
DIY projects. Okay.
DIY.
So this is basically just following you guys in
DIY.
your journey in life
Yeah.
together, basically.
Yeah.
So this would be for married couples, singles,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody.
Anybody and everybody.
anybody and everybody.
Yeah, like basically all the different things that we're interested in is gonna be displayed up there. Like I game, we do music, so it's gonna be
Fashion stuff, beauty, it's all type of things.
It's just all about it's just you guys, it's just who you are is on this channel. So guys, if you are interested in following Spencer and Shannon and you really enjoyed their wisdom today, I encourage you guys to head over to YouTube, search Love Driven War?
Yep, Love Driven War.
Love
You can
Driven
put it all
War.
as one word.
Yeah.
Love Driven War. Yeah.
Love Driven War, and follow them because they are some pretty dope people. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. Guys, thanks again for gracing my camera and
Thank you
coming
for having
on.
us.
Yeah, for sure.
I say this to all my guests, but I truly mean it. I would love to have you guys come back on again for another version of something else that we're doing because I really
Right.
had a great time with you guys today.
Yeah,
Definitely.
dope. We ready to talk. We can talk about it.
I see that
Whenever, yeah.
I see that y'all left me out of the first half of this interview. Y'all took over the show. I'm like, we don't need her. We don't need just Mo. All right, guys. I love you so much. And to all my listeners out there, I need you to hang on for just a moment with Mo coming up next.